Shalom. This is Brother YAHAWAH once again with another lesson. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Kahakadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father in His Son's name, with the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, real name in the Hebrews, Yahushua. So want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who tells us truth and rule well. I want to say shalom to all you sincere-hearted Akim and Akwath. Let's make your bodies a living sacrifice on a daily basis in this wicked and adulterous generation. And this morning, what I want to get into briefly is basically the wicked, which is the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, is boasting in his heart's desire, man. All right. And, if you've been in touch, with these lessons and other brothers' lessons that teach this this doctrine, you hear is often going into how Esau's fighting desperately, to obtain Jacob's birthright. And that's to basically, rule planet Earth forever. This man, he knows scripture, he knows prophecy, right? But with his heart being hardened, just like the Most High hardened Pharaoh's heart, he's bucking up and fighting against prophecy. Although it's going to be a feeble attempt. And what I'm going to share with you all today, this morning, goes to show you the pridefulness of this man. As a matter of fact, let me grab this in the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. And I'm going to skip down here to verse 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come," speaking about the day of Yahushua, "except there coming falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed." And who's that man of sin? When you read Malachi, the first chapter, it speaks about how Esau, Edom, right, is the border of wickedness, meaning that he encompasses all witnesses. He's the beginning and the end of wickedness, man, of sin. It says the son of perdition, which means destruction. It says who opposeth, right? And what's that word oppose go into? Let's just get it real quick. All right. Oppose, to be set over against, opposite to, right? To oppose, to be adverse, to withstand, contrary. And that's exactly what this man is, what he's doing right now. He's being very contrary unto the righteous ways and the righteous government that the Lord was established here on planet Earth. Even though he's being contrary, he's falling right into the Most High's plans at the same time, right? Because the Lord is using this man on the left-hand side. As a matter of fact, let's finish this out and then we'll get into this article. This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. It says, "Who opposeth and exalts himself," right? This man has been exalted himself, right? And this is a characteristic of an Edomite, man, right? They're very prideful, very boastful, right? It says, "Above all that is called, all that is called God, or that is worship," right? So whatever is called God, Buddha, Muhammad, Krishna, Jesus, or whatever, Yahawah, he opposes himself above all gods. He says, or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And that's this man's plan. He wants to show the whole world that he is the Most High. All right. So as a matter of fact, because currently what we have going on is the world leaders. They have this meeting called they had this meeting this past weekend called the Great Narrative, right? Or the World Economic Forum, which is to launch this great narrative. Right now, let's just read a little bit into this. Right, it says World Economic Forum. Oh, this is the sociable / government and policy. Right, sociable.com/government and policy. And this is pretty much what they were going into in their meeting in Dubai, this past weekend. And they've had these meetings going on. I believe they had a meeting in 2020 as well. And basically these puppets that the elites have set up, such as this guy right here, Klaus Schwab, who else? Anthony Fauci, and also this Bill Gates of hell dude. These are all people that the elites have set up to basically help push this narrative that the world needs to be, you know, basically one. You know, they're trying to build that Tower of Babel, you know, when you read Genesis chapter 11, you know, and this is what provoked the Most High to anger. So, and this is what caused him to basically split up, you know, these different nations by dividing them, you know, by giving them different languages. And that's why we have different languages today, right? But anyway, let's go into this article and we'll get some scriptures. It says World Economic Forum to launch great narrative, right, initiative following the Great Reset. And we know that this is this devil's ultimate agenda is to push this Great Reset button. This is why he doesn't mind chaos and turmoil, you know, going on. He wants people to leave their jobs. He wants to bleed out the society, right? He wants massive chaos. Why? So he can bring in that order, that hence the title or phrase NWO, New World Order. So it says the World Economic Forum Great Narrative Initiative is to attempt to legitimize its technocratic Great Reset of society and the global economy. Now, you know how these devils like to throw out, you know, these big words that the average person doesn't really know. But it's why we just got to simply go into these words. So, you know, that word legitimize, because this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to justify themselves. And that's what that word legitimize means. Let's get that real quick. Legitimize, I just typed in the definition of it. It says to make legitimate, says to validate, legitimate, permit, warrant, authorize, license, sanction, condone, justify. So these devils want to justify themselves, right, on why they do what they do, you know, and what they're going to do. And this is why basically they this so-called pandemic, you know, they push this thing out there, you know, in the media, right? So they can justify themselves to come back and give you a solution according to their ways, according to their liking, right? Let me grab this real quick. Book of Luke, I want to say 16, 15. And although Yahawashi was speaking to our people, right, when he spoke this saying, is also can be used to these Edomites, to anyone who justified themselves. This is Luke 16 and 15. And he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men. And that's what this devil is trying to do, man. He's trying to justify himself. There's already, you know, if you watched the video last night, the live stream, this man already has laws and legislations in the books to justify himself to slaughter millions of people, man. And it's all going to be in the under the guise of, you know, the betterment of humanity. You know, this man is prideful, man. You know, you just got to sit back and think about, like, what the hell this man is doing, right? But we know this is not the end all be all. You know, all praise to YAHAWASHI that we understand the truth. You know, and people that want to ridicule and scoff at this Bible, man. If this Bible was not true, everyone is screwed, because this man has power, man. You got to give it to him. This devil has power. He's got a smooth tongue. And when that smooth tongue don't work no more, guess what? He got the sword to back it up. All right, so we need YAHAWASHI, man. He says, you are they which justify yourselves before men, but Yahawah knoweth your hearts. Yeah, the Most High knows your minds, Esau. He knows what you're thinking. Why? Let's grab this real quick. What was that? Proverbs 21:1. And it says, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahawah. So that's why he knows your heart, because your heart, meaning your mind, your counsels, is in his hand. It says, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whatsoever he will. So the Lord has hardened this man's heart, just like Pharaoh, man. For what? Just to break him down and give himself a name. It says, you are they which justify yourselves before men, but Yahawah knoweth your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of the Most High. See that? And Esau, he's highly esteemed, man. You know, especially amongst our people. It's really the other nations that despise this man, like the book of Obadiah says. But our people hold this man high esteem. This is why they're willing and rather to do everything he says, such as put a damn diaper over your face, get the juice, get the dragon juice, versus just keeping the Most High's laws. Why? Because you esteem this man higher than the Most High. Why? Because he opposed and exalts himself above all that is called God. But guess what? This man's an abomination in the sight of the Most High, man. So that word legitimize means to basically justify. So let's read that in its proper context. The World Economic Forum Great Narrative Initiative is to attempt to justify its technocratic Great Reset. Now let's go into that word technocratic real quick. Technocratic says relating to or characterized by the government or control, see that, or control of society or industry by an elite of technical experts, man. They're not hiding it no more. They're putting it right in front of your face what they want to do. These people want to control you, right? And last night in that live stream, I played a short clip from that YouTuber's name, Canadian Prepper, and he was basically talking about how they're, you know, and even these Gentiles know, man, how they want to be invasive. You know, they're controlling ways. They want it to be invasive, which is going to be in the form of the MOTB, the microchip, the RFID microchip, man. And once again, this you know, C19 deal is just something that's going to it's a narrative. It's a narrative, man, that's going to help justify or legitimize their control of society or humanity. But it's only going to be how? By an elite of technical experts. See that? So let's read some more into the article. So that World Economics Forum Great Narrative Initiative is to attempt to justify or legitimize its technocratic or control Great Reset of society and the global economy. See that? So they want to control everything, man. Because in a sense, they already do, right? But they're losing that grip. America doesn't have that. Esau in general, the whole beast system, which is NATO and the EU and Babylon, they've lost their grip, you know. So they gotta. It's kind of like you hanging on a cliff, you know. And one time you had that strong grip, but over a while your hands, you know, start to slip. So they need to kind of reset or reposition themselves. Right? They're going to dig their claws into humanity once again. That's their plan. Right? This is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right? So Esau ain't the man. Who in the hell is? Right? So the earth is given to the hand of this man. Right? But it was only given for a season, for a specific time. Right? And this man is running out of time. As a matter of fact, let's go into the word technocratic or technocracy a little more. And I advise all of you to, you know, just Wikipedia, you know, go into that word technocracy. We'll just get a little bit. So you know, go back on your own, get a full understanding, you know, to see what this devil is planning to do. And this is what we're commanded to do, man. When you read, as a matter of fact, let's go here, Proverbs 21 and verse 12. It says, the righteous man wisely considereth. What was that word consider? To think upon the house of the wicked. See that? So you're commanded, you know, if you're a wise man, to consider the house of the wicked, right? Consider, you know, what they're doing. Consider their counsels. Consider the way how this devil is moving, right? But at the end it says, but Yahawah overthrows the wicked for their wickedness. And then we know that's what that's the end all be all. The Most High is going to send his son. He's going to overthrow this man's house, right? But in the meanwhile, you got to consider what this man is doing. It says technocracy is a proposed system of government in which the decision maker or makers are selected on the basis of their expertise. It's going to show you that our people voting don't mean nothing, man. You know, it don't mean nothing because these people are selected by the elites based off of their expertise. Right? It says in given their expertise of what? Their expertise of wickedness, man. It says in a given area of responsibility. So all these cats, you know, that you see, you know, such as Bill Gates, George Soros, a couple of others that we named. The Facebook dude, what's his name? Damn, I can't remember his name. Damn, it slipped my mind. But all these cats, man, they have a specific area of responsibility that the elites have basically put them in charge of. Right? It says particularly with regard to scientific or technical knowledge. And what did Biden say before he or shortly after he got into his office? He says, expect less politics and more science, man. They're doing all this in the name of science. Well, according to science, humanity, we need to remain at this population. According to science, if you don't have this dragon juice, you're putting everyone at risk. This man boasts himself in his knowledge, man. And this is what's going to be his downfall according to scripture. Let's get this in Isaiah 47. And this whole chapter is going into the daughter of Babylon, or the virgin daughter of Babylon, which is America. This is Isaiah 47, verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. And this man is trusting in his wickedness, man. It says, thou hast said, none seeth me. Yeah, he doesn't think that anyone's seeing him, especially the Most High. They don't think that the Most High is looking down, because in his mind, well, if the Most High is real, he would have definitely brought me to naught by now after all the wickedness I've done. But as it be, according to scriptures, the Lord just allows this man to deepen himself in his sin. So when he sends his son YAHAWASHI back, he's going to just, like Brother Nagawam said, just throw all the books at him, man. He's going to have sin on top of sin on top of sin, charge on top of charge. This man's going to get life. He's going to get the punishment of execution, man. And it's going to be by the hands of the Lord's people, Israel. So he says, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it has perverted thee. This man's wisdom and knowledge, his science, has perverted him. It says, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am. And what does that phrase, I am, mean? That's basically meaning he's saying in his mind that he's God, man. It says, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. See, fall upon thee. And what's that mischief that's going to fall upon this place? ICBM missiles. He says, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. So let's go back. I want to skip down here to the history of this term, technocracy. It says the term technocracy is derived from the Greek words techne, meaning skill. Check this out, you all. Listen real closely. It says techne, meaning skill, and kratos, meaning power, as in governance. So this man, as scripture says, he's skillful in his power, right? He has the birthright, or the gift of the sword. That's his power. And ultimately, that's what this man's going to lean back upon in order to, after his narrative is going to basically fall upon himself, because everybody's, well, I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people are waking up to what this man is doing, right? But only the elect is going to escape this man's hand, But it says, let's keep reading. It says, the term technocracy is derived from the Greek words techne, meaning skill, and kratos, meaning power. So skillful power, as in governance or rule. William Henry Smith, a Californian engineer, is usually credited with inventing the word technocracy. In 1919, he described, check this out, the rule of the people made effective through the agency of their servants. So these people are making you, it's not like they're making you know, you already are. They're servants, man. These people want to make you their perpetual slaves. Those people that's left over from the slaughter that he's about to bring up, And this is why he's going to chip you, right? And this is going back to the law in Exodus chapter 21, all right? If a man doesn't want to leave his slave master, he's going to get basically bored through it with that hole, and y'all can read it in Exodus 21, basically noting that or signifying that he's going to be a perpetual slave. And once again, this man's about to bore you with another hole in the form of that needle, man. putting that chip inside of you, going to show those people that's going to be his perpetual slave. All right, it says the rule of the people made effective through the agency of their servants, the scientists and engineers, although the word has been used on several occasions. And it was something else I wanted to get. Oh yeah, here it goes. It says in the 1930s, the influence of Howard Scott and the technocracy movement he founded, the term technocracy came to mean government by technical decision making, man. See, and this is what they want, man. They want to make all the decisions for you. They don't want you to have a brain. They don't want you to think. And if you speak out against things, guess what? Now you're an enemy of the state. And they already have justified themselves and made laws and legislations and got them in the books to justify themselves to put you to death if you start to think for yourself. So let's read some more into this article, and then we'll get some scriptures. It says the World Economic Forum is looking to establish a great narrative following the Great Reset agenda. So these people, they need a narrative to push behind, because it wouldn't make any sense. They just, crash the economy, suffer all these people to lose their jobs for no reason. No, they need a reason, and the reason is going to sound good to simple-minded people. It's going to sound good, man. This man speaks. As a matter of fact, let's get this in the book of Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. So this great narrative, it's going to sound good, man. Oh, well, damn, it does make sense. I guess I should get the chip, It does make sense. I guess I should, get this jab. Sounds good, right? Says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart, meaning his mind, the whole time when this man is getting behind his podium and speaking to you in these conference meetings. Sounds good, but guess what? He got war in his mind, man. Same thing that he did to our Native American or the Northern Kingdom tribes when they, Christopher Columbus and those damn colonizers came over here and took this land violently from our brothers, man. Right? They made all those treaties and pacts, with the Native Americans and Aztecs and Incas, man. And it sounded good. Hey, if you just, teach us to hunt and fish, we'll be at peace with you. Right? And as soon as, the Northern tribes taught them these different things and allowed them to come into certain borders of their territory, that's when this man pounced on them, man. So the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. They were drawn swords. When you go to that word drawn, it means engraved. And what is this man engraved? His laws and legislations, man. This is why we're commanded to watch and wisely consider the house of the wicked. So it says the World Economic Forum is looking to establish a great narrative following the Great Reset agenda with the upcoming launch of the Great Narrative Initiative. In establishing a great narrative, the World Economic Forum is looking to assert an authoritative storyline to convince people, see that, why they need a great reset of society and the global economy. Listen, that's what it's all about, man. All this stuff is just smoke, man. Let's read that again. Establishing a great narrative, the World Economic Forum is looking to assert an authoritative storyline. An authoritative storyline, meaning they're going to put it out there in your face, man. And hey, 9/11 was one of them. And by 9/11, happening, although, of course it was a false flag, although it happened, they signed something in the books called what? The Patriot Act, man. And that basically gave this devil, full control to do with humanity however he sings, man. Now he can list anyone as a terrorist, as a threat. All right, he's going to justify himself of killing you, man. This is the devil that we're dealing with. Look at this dude on the screen, man. You think, just ask you, look at this dude on the screen and ask yourself, do you think that he really means good for anybody? It says the World Economic Forum is looking to assert an authoritative storyline to convince people why they need a great reset of society and the global economy. And once again, those words are going to sound smoother than butter. The Great Narrative Initiative, and this is this man speaking right here. This is a quote unquote, the Great Narrative Initiative and meeting in Dubai will be a powerful catalyst to shape the contours of a more prosperous and inclusive future for humanity that is also more respectful of nature. And that's another thing. They're pushing out this climate change agenda, you know, global warming agenda, right? Under the what do they have behind it? The NWO, man. And it says, never letting a good crisis go to waste. The Davos globalists are exploiting the pandemic once again. So they're using this pandemic as a means to justify themselves to do what they want to do. So is this time to legitimize or to justify their agenda of a great reset of society and the global economy? Because this cash that you got right now, this fiat currency that you got right now, they don't want it no more. You know, it's gone to shit. There's so much debt, they just F it, man. Let's just try something else. Right? But they need a reason to do it. It says by calling for a great narrative that can help guide the creation of a more resilient, inclusive, and sustainable vision for our collective future. Let's see. Y'all can read the rest. Little one, I just put the article in the description area on my YouTube channel, so you could go back and read it for yourself. But let's get some scriptures real quick. Let's get Psalms 140 from the top. It's a prayer for protection against the wicked, because this is what we need. As a matter of fact, let me grab this first in Psalms 10, verse 3. I'll start verse 1. It says, and pray up for the overthrow of the wicked. Why standest thou far off, O Yahawah? Why hidest thou self in times of trouble? Because it's going to seem like, man, that the Lord's just, you know, just letting this man do whatever he want, right? It's going to seem like that the Lord is just hiding himself, but we got to know that the Lord is watching, man. The Lord is watching. It says the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. So all these counsels and everything, Lord, let them be taken by their own counsel. As a matter of fact, Psalms 5 and 10. And it says, destroy thou them, O power. Let them fall by their own counsels. Cast them out in the multitude of their transgressions. And that's why the Lord is just allowing this man to go on for a long time, or seemingly a long time, so he can cast him out in the multitude of transgressions, man. So the Lord can be doubly justified, you know, triply justified, that's the word, to cast this man down, to just put him in captivity and then obliterate him forever. For they have rebelled against thee. Let's go back, Psalms 10, 3. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, man. That article we just read, that's nothing but the wicked boasting himself in his heart's desire and what he wants, what I feel is necessary for humanity. To hell with y'all think, to hell with y'all's rights. This is what I want. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire and blesseth the covetous, whom Yahawah abhorreth, meaning hates. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. For the Most High is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far off above out of his sight. For all of his enemies he puffeth at them. For he has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. Let's get this in Isaiah 47 and 9. But these two things shall come upon thee in a moment, in one day, loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. Let's skip up here to verse Salaki. Let's skip up here to verse 8. Therefore, hear now this, thou art given to you that are given to pleasures, that dwells carelessly, that say in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And that's his man's thoughts, man, that he's going to just continuously dwell forever. All right, let's get that in Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. And how's that going to happen? The NWO. They really think that through the NWO, they're going to be here forever, man. They're going to continue to rule planet Earth. He says, and their dwelling place to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. America, you know, America's Vespucci, you know, things of that nature. So let's go back. Let's go to Psalms 140. Verse 1, to the chief musician, a psalm of David, deliver me, O Yahawah, from the evil man, Esau. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in their hearts. Continually are they gathered together for war. And this World Economic Forum, listen, this is literally a gathering of war. It's just under the, what do you call it, the facade or the face mask of, you know, peace and the embetterment for humanity, but it's really a gathering of war. They have sharpened their tongues, right? They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips. Selah. Keep me, O Yahawah, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purpose to overthrow my goings. And they really want the elect, man. When you read Revelation 12, this is who this devil really wants. Because everybody else is numbered to the sword. If you're not part of the elect of the nation of Israel. Revelation 12 and 17, and the dragon was wroth with the woman. You know, dragon being Esau, the Edomite empire, and the woman being the elect of the nation of Israel. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, the elect, which keep the commandments of Yahawah and have the testimony of YAHAWASHI. So the war, the all-out war is going to be on us, man. And we see what this devil is doing. Verse 5, Psalms 145. The proud have hid a snare for me, and cords they have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me, Selah. I'm gonna skip down here to verse well, we just keep reading verse 6. I said unto Yahawah, thou art my power, hear the voice of my supplications. O Yahawah, the Lord, the Adawan, the strength of my salvation, thou hast covered my head in the day of battle. And we need that covering, man, with the oil of joy, right? Which is the Holy Spirit, the Rakak Vadash, man. We need to be covered. And how's it said that the elect is going to be covered, man? Through the blood of YAHAWASHI. Grant not, O Yahawah, the desires of the wicked. And we're praying that the Most High does not grant that this man's desires be forwarded. According to scriptures, the Lord is going to break this council up, just like he did in that council in Genesis chapter 11, when they were building that Tower of Babel. The Lord confused the languages, man, to where their hands could not perform their enterprise. It's Job chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. So the Lord is going to stop this man. He's going to disappoint their devices. Psalms 148, grant not, O Yahawah, the desires of the wicked, further not his wicked device, lest they exalt themselves. Selah. And this is what we should be praying, man. You know, as we already know that it's promised, right? But be praying that the Lord preserves you, because it's about to get bloody, man. Eventually, this man's narrative is not going to work. So he's going to say, F it, I'm going to bring the sword. This is Ezekiel 21:1, and Yahawah, and the word of Yahawah came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face toward Jerusalem, and drop thy word toward the holy places, and prophesy against the land of Israel. And this man is really going to come against the 2/3 as well. They're already numbered to the sword, but his prize and possession going to be the elect. All right, well, some of the elect will be beheaded, right? But you can't kill all of us, man. Says, and say to the land of Israel, thus saith Yahawah, behold, I am against thee, and will draw forth my sword out of his sheath. And who's the Lord's sword? Esau, man. Let's get that in Psalm 17. And 14. Let's start at verse 13. Arise, O Yahawah, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. The wicked is thy sword. So he says, I'm against thee, and will draw forth my sword out of his sheath, and will cut off from thee the righteous and the wicked. See that? So the Lord he's about to get busy in the earth, man. Should we then make mirth? That is spoken. As a matter of fact, let's keep reading. Verse Ezekiel 21. Yep. Verse 9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith Yahawah, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? So is this the season to be in mirthfulness, to be rejoicing? No, man. It tells you that a wise man's heart goes into a house of mourning, man. All right, this is a solemn approach, entering into the kingdom. It says, it contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. So yeah, man, I just want to get into that this morning. Lord willing, you few brothers and sisters were edified. Till next time, DTA, Abba, Shalom.